Hi, my name is Cynthia James and I'm with Kaspersky Lab, and my goal today is to give you, the end user, the basic information you need to know about internet security and cybercrime in as short a time as possible. So I've broken it into 3 videos. The first one is about cybercrime and the 3 things that make it really difficult for us to fight today. The second one is how we get infected, very often without even knowing it. And the third one talks about tips on how to be safer. It helps to have a little perspective on the history of cybercrime. And to give you an idea, Kaspersky Lab started in 1997. So from 1997 until the end of 2005, we saw about 250,000 unique pieces of malware. And then all of a sudden, 2006 hit. And in 2006, we saw 200,000 unique pieces of malware, almost as much as we had ever seen before in one single year. The next year it went up to 2 million pieces, and things haven't slowed down since. Anti-malware companies have to protect users from all the malware that's ever come before, in addition to what's happening this year. Because if we stop protecting you against what was happening in 2003, cybercriminals will simply start reusing that malware. After 2007, things haven't slowed down. And you can see from the graph that what we're talking about is what shocked us back in 2006 to see 200,000 pieces in one year. Now we see more than that in a single day. So right now we're seeing over 325,000 threats every 24 hours. What's driving all this volume of malware? The answer is money. Cybercriminals are earning over $100 billion a year, and it's not very hard to earn a few $1,000,000 in a few days of a good cyber scam. One example would be the Target breach. End to end, from the time they got in to the time they were selling credit cards on the underground equivalent of eBay, was under 45 days, and they made off with $50 million. Another very profitable cyber scam is ransomware. Ransomware is where they encrypt all your files and photos on your system and threaten to blow them up if you don't pay the ransom. The first ransomware to aggressively hit the US was 2013, and they earned over $28 million in the first few months. So money is driving it. What are the things that have made it particularly difficult to fight in just the last few years? There have been 3 major changes. The first one is you don't have to be technical anymore. It used to be that you actually had to be a hacker and have some technical skills in order to get involved in the cybercrime game. But now you can get off-the-shelf components that are extremely sophisticated, like the kind of software that was used at Target. Might have cost you $60,000 to develop just the component on the point of sale system that grabs your credit card information a few years ago. Now you can buy that for under $2,000 on the black market. But if you're willing to finance a cybercrime campaign, you can hire someone to put all those components together for you, to launch it, and just to come back with whatever they steal when they're done. And then at the end of the day, whatever assets you've accumulated, you can actually consign to someone else to sell on an underground forum, and you can be paid through Bitcoin anonymously. So that's made it possible for absolutely everyone to get in the game that has no scruples. The second thing is there's been an incredible organization of the cybercrime market. And what that means is, first, all this sophisticated malware is being sold very cheaply. And second, you can sell anything. You don't need to have any kind of criminal connections. This means a kid living in Georgia can steal 8,500 student records and IDs and then post them to an underground forum. People sell things like access to power grids, intellectual property and business secrets. Those are the kinds of things that are sold on these forums. Number 3 is innovation. Cybercriminals are constantly receiving new, innovative ideas to perpetuate cyber scams. And part of that comes from software developers who are trying to patch their products. The only way that Microsoft can tell you about a security patch called an update that you need to apply to Windows is to broadcast it to everyone. And unfortunately, cybercriminals are listening as well. Those of us in the cybersecurity community, we also add to this. When we discover a good scam, we pull it apart like a ball of string and we describe it to everyone. The idea is to help people who haven't been infected from becoming infected. But again, all those ideas go out to cybercriminals. For instance, Kaspersky Lab discovered a breach of banks, 100 banks in 30 countries, $1 billion siphoned out by this cybercriminal gang over the last year and a half. And we're sharing that information with financial institutions worldwide by broadcasting what happened, hoping that they'll be able to raise their defenses and not become victims. But of course, other cyber criminals are thinking, it sounds like a good idea. So the third problem is innovation at a very rapid pace. Now let's move on to the second video, which talks about how we can get infected without even knowing about it. Thank you so much for watching.